Have I not been talking to you guys this whole time? I didn't even add myself to stream. Okay, so what was going on was I was having an issue with my laptop when I first jumped on, and I almost wrote to you guys like I think I'm gonna have to like reschedule this stream. And I just spent like 2 minutes apologizing to you guys and explaining to you why you're here. Oy vey. Okay, so let's start this off by saying good morning or good afternoon wherever you are, or good night. I've been muted the whole time. I said hi to all of you, so if you're here, I already said hi to you. I'm so sorry. Um, well, I will give a rundown on what's been going on at least the past 24 hours. Unfortunately, we do know that Gabby's death has been ruled a homicide, and it felt like everything intensified. The search for Brian really intensified, but they were like, he's still a person of interest. He's innocent until proven guilty, and they weren't really like going out of their way to make it seem like he was a suspect for Gabby's death. And they're still not. Anybody got a shoe? But within the last 24 hours, they have put out a search warrant for Brian, and hopefully that catches him. And when they catch him, he will be going to jail for having stolen from Gabby. From Gabby, well, we're assuming it's Gabby. I'm gonna actively guess that it's her cards that he stole and used for his drive back since he had no money of his own. So there's a big pomegranate tree right behind me, and I think the birds are just loving it right now. Hey, Kay, thank you. So there's an active search warrant for Ryan. Why do I keep calling him Brian? There's an active search warrant for Brian, and it's there's a $20,000 reward for anybody that finds him. So go out and find him, guys. I'm not in the rainforest. I'm gonna have to go inside. Damn birds! They killed it for me. It was so beautiful out here. I don't think so. I don't think that they will find him deceased. I think he's going to live. I think the fact that he lawyered up and the fact that he's been hiding so well lets me know that he has a will to live. He wants to live. He's not going to let this hurt his life, his perfect little life. Melissa, no, don't do that. Wow. Thank you so much. And Melissa's the my friend and mod that wants to go to Gabby's viewing. I think I had said that right before I realized I wasn't talking to you guys. So I was going to pull up that Gabby's family has made her funeral public, and they're allowing the public to go, and they gave us the information. So I was actually going to play the video where they let the news know that they will be holding her services in New York, and we're all invited to go. It doesn't necessarily say that, but they're opening it to the public. So let me pull that up. How are you guys? How is everybody? All right, here we go. Oops, I just clicked into my own live. And now it's frozen. Great. Oh no. All right, there you go. Fixed it. But now I have to go back to the video. But yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. And then we're going to go into Brian's Pinterest, which is a little bit strange in hindsight of what's going on. Like, it's also 2020. All right, let's play this real quick.
Half an hour ago, funeral service. Thank you, Jenny, for the latest information of that. And tonight at 7 o'clock, the community in New York where Gabby is from is getting together to remember Gabby and to support her family. A candlelight vigil is taking place at Blue Point Nature Preserve. Gabby's father just announcing on Twitter about a half an hour ago, funeral service for Gabby will take place this Sunday on Long Island, New York.
Kimmykins knows that right now it is not my moment. Right before I went live, I was having an issue connecting to a scanner, and now this. But we're okay. We're gonna track through it. But this is not a laughing matter, and I mean, I hope anybody that's watching me understands that I laugh at the most awkward situations. But I'm gonna pull up Brian's Pinterest at the same time. Ask you guys what your thoughts are. Was there no sound that whole time? Did you guys hear it or no? I have heard that potato. I thought it was only one, and then yesterday somebody said that it was two, and now I'm hearing you're saying it's three. I think that the stickers thing could have been her. I definitely think that Gabby was somebody that would have added on to her van as she was going, because I don't think she expected her van life to end. It was something that she wanted to do. So I think it would have just kept growing no matter what. Janessa, I will look it up and I will, if you want to go ahead and comment on this video when it's done, and I will find it for you and enter it. Yeah, I think we've all been crying over this case, Jolene. Really, I have. I wake up thinking about Gabby. And I really, like, I see, like, the people saying stuff like, I wish all the other cases got attention like this and stuff. And I 100% agree. I wish all the cases got our attention like this. But for some reason or another, she has captured all of our minds, all of our hearts, and we can't stop thinking about her. Valerie says she's had dreams about her, and so have I. I actually had a dream, like, I don't know if they were necessarily in the desert, but I had a dream that I was in the desert, and I was like, I know they're here. Like, I know I saw them here, like, almost like a social media thing. Like, I saw them post here kind of thing. It was really weird. Yes, Potato, I agree too. That there is a lot of families right now that, because of Gabby's case, they, we could see that they have been hurt too by their murders. Like the couple in Utah, had this not happened in such an extreme way, we may have never heard about their murders. But now we have, and we've seen that they are really hurting. There is an entire town on Facebook right now talking about the murders and like, why is nobody helping us? We want to know. We want to know, is there DNA? Is there a killer on the loose? Is there somebody in our town that's out here hunting for us? And they have no answers. We can't give them any answers unless we like put the pedal to the metal, kind of like this. Also, like yesterday was a case where they found somebody who they had been looking for a long time, and then it turns out they had him the entire time. So Jaylani Day was missing, and a lot of people were saying, okay, now that we found Gabby, let's find Jaylani. And I understand it was so sad that nobody was looking for him. And I had told Crazy, hey, look, have you heard about this? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to do a video on him. And I was like, yeah, me too. And we were working on our video, and they found him yesterday. And I think they had him at the mortuary for 3 weeks. And this was somebody's baby. His mom was actively hunting and searching for him, crying, like trying to get everybody's attention. It was just very sad that they had him the entire time. Oh, it made me really sad yesterday. And then the press conference with the police officer, it was very odd. If you guys watched it, it looked very odd. I am currently setting onto Pinterest. Narcissistic people love this kind of... Oh, I missed it. Narcissistic people love this kind of attention, no matter if it's positive or negative. Without a doubt, Brian is watching this all unfold. Oh, yes. And when people are saying, like, we're catching him on social media when it's, like, his real account, not, like, fake sock accounts or whatever, I believe it. I believe he's online. Kind of like when people say, we believe that, NK watched all of this and all that. Absolutely she did. Like, when you go to, like, the things that she said, she would mention Chris and Shanann by their initials, kind of like how you would do in groups. Why else would that be on her mind? Oh, let's see. Wow, where was he found? To be completely honest with you, I don't know where he was found prior to the mortuary, but he was at the mortuary. So, what do you guys? I mean, I personally don't think that Brian is deceased. I think that he is alive and trying to get away with this. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? I really think that he's going to try to get away with this, like for real, for real. All right, let me pull up his Pinterest right now. What? No, my Pinterest just asked me if I wanted to change my pronoun. I'm a miss, ma'am. I'm a Mrs. All right, there's no sound, so I don't have to share that. Hey, Amanda, what's up? Definitely agree. Yeah, he's on the run. I think that he wants to live. I think that he wants to live. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, give me a second. I left my laptop uncharged. To put it on the charger. Wouldn't want it dying on us. All right. You think he's posing as an egg in a supermarket in a small town? He definitely could. I had asked somebody, I was like, I don't think he's really bald. Maybe he just shaves. And my mom, Christina, sent me a picture of him from the top. And she's like, no, honey, he's bald. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's really bald. Really, really bald. Check Messenger. Okay. Also, last night I read a news report that Brian had left without his cell phone or wallet. Did you guys hear that? That his family, a close friend to their family, said that he had left his home without his wallet. I'm guessing he wouldn't really need it if he was stealing money already. He probably didn't have any money in there, so he didn't need it. So first things first, Kay Lapsley, I believe flowers are probably going to be accepted at some point. I think they'll just receive too many and create a foundation like most families do. But I'm sure that right now is probably a good time to send them if you want to. I'm going to pull up my chat on my phone so I could be on StreamYard on this side over here. So the first thing I thought when I saw Brian's Pinterest was, wow, he actually pinned things, because I probably have 3 Pinterests and I've probably started 3 Pinterests and then never finished them. Like, I don't even know how to do stuff. So the fact that he like got a whole Pinterest and filled it up, it's kind of amazing. Just a little bit amazing to me. Ooh. Like, my husband has a Pinterest and he doesn't have anything pinned. I think he just used it like to look things up too, recipes and stuff. Eva Anna says, if he is dead, he wants. Hold on. If he is dead, he wasn't the survivalist he thought he was. Oh, if he is dead, you're right. I don't think he's a survivalist at all. I don't, or else he wouldn't have needed a van. Parents packed up camper with tons of supplies and plenty of cash, I'm sure. Allegedly. I believe it. I really do. I believe his parents helped him get out of there. And if they really did go camping, I think they left 3 days early. Like, why not? If they really took him camping, they probably did leave 3 days early, right? And they probably did take him somewhere. Why wouldn't they? Jolene, his bed is going to be made of plastic water bottles. Absolutely. All right. So, I had also heard a rumor that um, Brian may have autism, and that maybe that's why, like, he's still supported by his parents and everything. And that makes sense. There is something here pinned on his Pinterest that makes it seem like he may identify with people who have autism. So I thought that was interesting as well. I may not be able to go through the whole thing. My eldest stayed home from school today, so she's having fun right now playing Roblox, but I can't let her play for too long. or she won't want to do anything else all day. I did want to go over little things like just, in fact, that he has a Pinterest. He's pinning things and he actively wanted a future in life with Gabby. And I think it's interesting now with what's going on because we're assuming that after all of this adventure, he he ended everything. For what reason we don't know, kind of like what happened to Brian and why did all of this not pan out. Did he throw a tantrum of some sort? But I'm going to just go through the ones that I thought was important. So I wanted to go first to my heart. We want to see, this, I think this humanizes him a little bit too. Makes it seem like, okay, he has things that he might love. He has things that he likes. And he had a heart. He was a person. And right now, he's like not a person to us. He comes off as depressed in his Pinterest, and I thought that was important. Comes off as lonely, misunderstood. But I feel like when he portrayed himself with Gabby or on his social media that he puts out, he seems so positive or like so like sure of himself. The opposite of lost. Don't try to find me. I have finally escaped. Let's see. It says, don't try to find me. I have finally escaped my master's wicked clutches. To the others, I say, join me. Bite the hand that feeds you. Viva la libertad. Which is, live, let the liberty live. Very much an anarchist, which is okay, but very weird too now that we know. Pinning like stuff like, you're an idiot, mystery solved. I feel like that was for him. Like, I don't even think it was for anybody else. Like, these little things to me, like, kind of make him a human. Like, he liked pets. Okay, cool. Stuff like that. I don't know. What do you guys think about this stuff? I think it's a karma of passion, too. I definitely think he was going to get broken up with and he couldn't handle it. A psych hospital would be aware of who he is. I'm not sure how that would work with the police department. Like, if they would know. I think they would, but couldn't be too sure. This one right here is pretty weird, too. And I'm gonna say again, just the fact that he pins stuff is interesting. Like I couldn't follow through with the Pinterest. Who here has a Pinterest and followed through with it? So your future self is watching you right now through your memories, and he talks about memories a lot. In his post with Gabby, like there was one where he says something to the effect of like I would like die to watch our memories like all over again or something like that. And it says, this is the opposite of lost one again, the don't try to find me. I don't know why these all stuck out to me. I just couldn't help but like pour over this and try to figure out things like about him just by seeing these. But I did it with Casey Anthony too. And I felt like we did learn a lot by the things that she would post on her MySpace at the time. So this says, nyctophilia, love of darkness or night, finding relaxation or comfort in the darkness. And if you look at his photos, he does a lot of like the black light paintings. And his friend had a bedroom that was like all black light room and had like, hey C-Dub, had like all this stuff on his walls to make the room glowy and stuff. And it was Brian, Brian, Gabby, and his friend there, and they were doing like, I guess you would call it like a triple date or whatever, and they had a super good time, and he posted it on his Instagram. And it just leaves me with the idea that that's kind of something that he wanted for himself. Yeah, I'm not a good Pinterest person. I've tried. Exactly. She says I don't even know how many. Me either. He had a friend, exactly, one one friend. And if you go through his friend's social media like I did, he never once mentions Brian. Or he deleted already. It says, any excuse he can use because he's guilty of killing a beautiful soul, he cannot hide from who he really is. That monster will always want out. Agree. All right, so let me go back to more. I just found all this stuff interesting. I couldn't stop going through it when I found it. This one was weird. You guys, I'm going to say weird a lot. This one's creepy. This one's weird. Don't go. Stay here. And then, there's just regular stuff too. Just regular. He was obviously a fan of like we had like fan art. So he was obviously a fan of things. And then here's this one. I only exist inside those people who are aware of my existence. I think it's basically symptomatic of once you try to cut me off, you don't love me anymore. You can't even love me a little bit. It hurt itself in its confusion. It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. Do you hear that? It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. Like one of those if you have nothing to lose kind of thing. It's just also so weird in hindsight. A chancla? Who's talking about chanclas? Oh, you know what? I don't know how to find the most recent pins, but I do know that they're within the last year. Some of them. Let's see. Oop. No! Don't do this. Of course. All right. This way up, handle with care, fragile, keep dry, being human, 100% organic. Contents may vary in color. This guy loved to be crunchy, or the idea of crunchy, but he had nothing but social media. Like, I don't get it. Like, the only thing I haven't found on him is a Facebook, and a lot of people don't have Facebook. She's the type of flower that can still grow in a forest fire. Sobs uncontrollably. He's just very emo. Very, very emo. Existing costs too much money. I'm trying to make it big, but it won't. Existing costs too much money. And from what we know, he's cheap. I mean, they had that fight at the restaurant over the bill. Why would you fight over a bill at a restaurant? Maybe he sent something back because he didn't like it and didn't want to get charged for it, but I have a feeling that he was a really big cheapo. I know everyone's going to want to see this one, the My Girl one. It's just one picture. One picture. And then, let's see. There's the life goals, which is just extremely off-putting now that we know. But one thing I wanted to make sure that I checked was he did like stamp art. So he would carve rubber stamps and put them like as art. Like he would stamp them and use it as art and he would sell it. And so I thought, okay, let me make sure that this just isn't his stamp art, like that he's trying to pin things for weddings or whatever. But no, there's stuff in here that directly goes back to things he's done. So, and also some of it is just wedding stuff. But like, here's some of his wedding pins, really cute stuff, really boho stuff that I would love to see at a wedding. Just it's really like it's pleasing, it's aesthetically pleasing. I love this stuff. So he just had a whole bunch of things. This is why I wanted to make sure it wasn't just stamps. This is what I found interesting. Okay. I think my husband loves me a lot, but I could never catch my husband pinning my wedding dress or like what he thought I should wear at my wedding. I thought that was very, very, very weird. I know I have ladies in here. What do you guys think about that? She may have added stuff to his board, but she has her own board. Don't worry, you won't be attacked. We like emo, just not Brian emo. And I said, like, a lot of the stuff is very beautiful. I would love to see us at a wedding. I'm sure Gabby would have loved a wedding like this. This guy is so selfish, he probably didn't want her doing it with anybody but him. So who thinks that Gabby maybe could have pinned this aside from having her own Pinterest? Like maybe they sat together one day and pinned it all? Maybe. Maybe. Exactly, Valerie. That's what I was getting that from. That's what I was getting at. I didn't want to just say it out loud. I wanted to see if anybody else thought that. I think it's very odd, and even though I think she may have been there at some point, I don't know, I feel like he added this on his own. I I don't know. I feel like Gabby would be the kind that wore like I don't know, not I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what kind of dress she would want, but I don't know. I felt like he did this all on his own, and then there is more stuff in here that like directly like you could tell that um, they were following things on the Pinterest. Like there's a picture. I think I may have not gone over it yet because there's more than one wedding pin, but there's one of their tattoos together. The tattoos that they have, like in their hand, on their hands that are matching, kind of. They have it, or he has it pinned. And then so we'll go to Oh Baby. Like this is just so sad, really, just so sad. I mean, I went through this the first time thinking he did it all. But I mean, I guess it could be that they did it together or she pinned stuff for him. But for some reason, I think this was his idea of a perfect life. This was like his dream, like to have this little boho family. Oh, it's so cute though. I'm going to agree. It's all so beautiful. But I feel like this is something that he wanted. Especially now that we know that like he has one like pinned called My Girl. I don't think Gabby would do that. This is like planning for food at a wedding. Like they did say that they were planning their wedding and that they had money saved, decided to take the trip with it instead because of COVID. Maybe he was upset about that. Like, I don't know. And then if they're saying he was like a cheapo or whatever, the wedding would kind of go like spending money on a wedding would probably make him mad too. So he'd be one of those people that was all for it until it was done, and then he'd be like, "Look how much we spent on your wedding." I That's what I get. So this is what they were saying. Not what they were saying. This is what I read somebody say, and then I came and I looked, and I was like, "Yeah, they're absolutely right." He does have the book burnt out, or like it's burnt out Zine. How to cope with autistic burnout. How to cope with autistic burnout. A Zine, a 6 to 8 page handwritten font throughout the Zine. It's autistic burnout is when autistic people can't do things they used to because of how little energy they have. How little energy they have left. It takes a whole lot more energy to function whilst being autistic and doing basic tasks such as remembering to eat or doing laundry. Burnout leaves us feeling weak and exhausted. I hope this Zine gives you a little comfort or helps you understand your autistic friend or family member a bit better. If you are neurotypical, please remember that all autistic people are different, and this information and advice comes from my own personal experience with burnout. If you want to educate yourself more about autism, I would strongly suggest seeking resources from actual autistic people. And I am grateful that you're taking the time to look at my work. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, I think this definitely could be I think this definitely could be that he was pinning things for autism because he may have had autism. I think the way his parents treat him, and I say treat him because of what we've seen, the little set that we've seen, I feel like it's totally possible. I feel it's totally possible. Like the thing about living with their parents, that's not that's not why. I just think of the way that they've coddled him since this has happened. The first question usually is like, "Where's your girlfriend? Why didn't you help look for her? Where's your girlfriend, Brian?" Not, "Hey Brian, where's your girlfriend? You want to go camping? Let's get a lawyer when they ask you where your girlfriend is." Um, Valerie, that's a really good question. That's a very good question. She said, "Do you think if they don't find Brian, they will go after the parents?" Um, I think they're going to go after them the only ways that they can, but I don't think they're going to get much out of them. I think the fact that they got an attorney means that they have been well advised and they're not going to slip up. They know that their life is at risk right now, especially with the way we've been attacking them. They're going to button up and they're going to make sure that they don't give away where he is so they don't get in trouble. But I hope that I hope that if they're actively trying to hide him now after all this has gone on, that something does happen. And I know that there's laws against it in Florida, but I hope that there's other things, other loopholes that they can get them on if they are actively trying to hide him. We don't know if they did let law enforcement know, but also I don't think that they wanted to give law enforcement any information at all. So I don't know. Why would this be pinned on his Pinterest? Like I said, like it's not easy to build a Pinterest. This is something that like you've gone out of your way to do it. So I don't know. But you want people to know these things about you too. That's kind of how Pinterest works. And he definitely has a lot of van build stuff, like things that he wanted to keep getting done for their van. There's a lot of pictures that let me know that like maybe this is how we can get an idea of what they did. Like there's one picture of the van life thing, and it has like a water pump, kind of like the ones that you see pump pesticides out, but it's so they can shower. And I thought, oh, that's pretty insightful. Like they probably did have something like that just so they can take portable showers. Hey, Original Elements, she changed her name so it'd be shorter. Let's see. She says, she gives me such good vibes. I woke up seeing the world differently, brighter, just from viewing her soul. Tristan Bailey, them two girls literally made me a better person. She's really inspired me. You know what? I could say the same. And, it's weird. It's really weird when you follow true crime and these things really inspire you, kind of like Shanann Watts. I still watch Shanann Watts videos all the time. I don't know why I'm so inspired by her. I don't know why I like miss her like I knew her. It's very weird. They should do a science about us. They should do a study about us, about the people in true crime. But you're absolutely right. There was something really beautiful about her that draws you in. And I think even though she wasn't super popular on social media yet, that it was definitely there. She definitely had the capability of doing this. And I think that when she chose Brian, she thought he did too. I don't think she thought all this was going to happen. And like, I don't know. I don't think I don't think Gabby would have really stayed with Brian if he would have showed his true self from the beginning. Obviously, this isn't stuff he wanted. Obviously, right? These aren't things that he really wanted. If with what's going on, he didn't actively help search for his girlfriend. He's not telling people like what happened now. It's also different than what he portrayed. Little jerk. And not just that, they're saying he really left her out in the open. Like, I'm going to just go ahead and say, what if, you know, what if he didn't do it? What if she just got hurt and he didn't know what to do, or she started drinking and she fell and she got hurt? Either way, he still jumped in her van and drove from Wyoming to Florida without letting anybody know. Either way, he was still complicit in her not being found right away, like basically concealing her. Like I am not agreeing anything that he did. Like, what an asshole. Your girlfriend was with you on a trip and you came home without her. You won't tell anybody where she is, and now that she died, you just essentially disappear. There's something wrong here. I think this is why we're all so caught up. Like, what is wrong with this picture? Where is this guy? Why are his parents not looking for him? Why didn't they look for his girlfriend? Why are her parents like begging you, sending like media, like public announcements asking you to please help look for their daughter, and you are not? You guys lawyered up. You need your own attorney too? Like, they literally need their own attorney. Why would you need your own attorney if there was nothing going on? Why would you need your own attorney if your son didn't do anything? That's just the oddest thing to me. And now we know that yesterday they went to Orlando to meet with an attorney. Again, if your son or you didn't do anything wrong, why are you going to meet with your attorney still? Like, obviously there's legal problems, but which legal problems are they addressing? I don't know. I think it's just also mad. Like, it makes me so mad. And when I was mad at the police officers for taking that situation so wrong in Utah, I got a lot of backlash in comments, in comment sections, like, oh, don't criticize, the officers, don't criticize the boys in blue. They were just trying, blah, blah, blah. I don't even care if they didn't get the miscommunication. Well, because we're starting to believe that maybe the 911 call thing was a miscommunication. That maybe, just maybe, because more than one witness called in, they didn't like connect the dots. Like they didn't put the two calls together and say, oh, look, this is the same dispute. He hit her, but this other call is saying she hit him too. Whatever, whatever, whatever. They still should have seen all the signs. Even if we were only watching it afterwards and we knew that something was going on, we saw the signs. I know that you could see that she was distressed. I know that you could see that there was something going on. Some of us were even screaming, they should have arrested her because there's just something so weird. They should have known something was wrong, even with her. Like, they should have done something more than give him victim's lodging for the night and try to arrest her or give her a citation and have her pay for his lodging, because that's kind of what I understood from the cop telling Brian. He was saying that he was going to take him to the hotel and then it would just be added to her citation. Clearly, she didn't have a citation in the end, but I think that's what he was trying to tell him. Like, yeah, we'll just add it onto her charge. And Brian was trying to get rid of that charge so fast. He's like, what can I do to make this go away? Like, give me the checklist of the things that I can do to make this go away. He just wanted it gone. Even though it was Gabby getting in trouble, it wasn't even him getting in trouble. They were treating him with kid gloves. He was saying, show me the way. How can I get this all to go away? Why? Because he knew that it was going to, it's probably going to give Gabby leverage. Like, at some point, he realized she was going to come to a realization, or her parents were going to get involved, or, just anything. He even said to the officer, like, I told her, like, look, people are watching. Like, look what you're doing. What? Imagine flipping out because you're fighting with your man and he's telling you, like, look how people are responding to what you're doing. Check it out. Look, that's just, that would make me go off. And I'm a toxic. I don't care. Not me. But this kind of just gives you an idea of what their van build could have been on the inside, like the ideas that they got. This one right here, like, looks just like theirs. It really does. They did like the little shelving underneath, everything. So it lets me know that they were actually like following through with the things that they were doing on this Pinterest. And also, like, in the domestic dispute call, Gabby at one point tells the cops, like, I was telling him, like, why I'm like, I was trying to explain to him that why I get so mean or something like that. And now we know that she was saying that to him. The why are you so mean? That tells me a lot, Brian. It tells me a lot that she had to cover up for him. She was scared of getting in trouble with the police officers because of what he was going to do. And I pointed it out before when I watched the body cam with you guys that when they tell her they're going to separate them for the night, she stops crying. Instead of freaking out more, like, I have to drive this van, I don't really drive, she stopped crying. She was like relieved. He was definitely gaslighting her, making her feel crazy, probably like making everything she did like out to be crazy. Like, oh, why are you trying to freak out? Why are you trying to freak out that this place is dirty? Oh, I can't help that I'm dirty. No, you can. If you know your girlfriend doesn't like dirt on the tent, take your shoes off and wipe them off. Like, you live in the desert. You're going to have to keep your stuff clean. If you got onto my blanket that I had to keep for weeks without washing with your feet dirty, you better believe I'd get mad, even if we were in the Moab desert. Better believe it. And also, one of my favorite things to point out is when I've pointed this out so many times, I can't help it. When she's saying that she has to steal his granola, and then like she's explaining like the granola and the chocolate and all that, she says I have to steal his granola. They live together in a van. They really separated their food. That's too small a space to separate your food. It makes me think that he was trying to split the bill at the restaurant. I bet you he was, or like, I don't know. I don't know. So they did a lot of Pinteresting. Like, so did Gabby. They they both did it, and I really do think these are him. If you go onto his Instagram, he really was proud of the van build, and he calls it like my van build too, like even though we know it was her van. But yeah, I really do think this was Brian's Pinterest, his his personal Pinterest. I don't think that Gabby pinned things for him. I really think this was all him. Like, I'm sure she showed him things and he pinned it, but I really do think that he had this idea. This was his dream too. He just, I don't know, maybe he embarked the journey with somebody that, like, it didn't work out the way he thought. Like, they weren't exactly what he wanted. They weren't super 100 crunchy, so it just bothered him. Remember how he mentions, like, the hammock, that he took it and he had only gotten to use it once? That would have bothered me. Like, I'm sure that was a cause of a fight. When I used to go camping with my friends, if they took stuff, like, one of my friends used to like taking drums, and finally, maybe like 6 camping trips in, I was like, you don't even use your drums. Can you please stop bringing them? They are just taking up space. This is stupid. I don't want your drums to come anymore. True story. And I bet that was part of that. Like, oh, I finally got to use my hammock, because he probably had this idea and didn't want to derail from it. Like, so upset and so obsessed. But I will also make sure to pin his Pinterest in the description of the video so you guys can go through it yourself, because there are so many pins. I just wanted to make sure to say this guy, he had plans. He had plans with Gabby. He didn't want to, like, I don't think this is exactly what he wanted, but his morbid art makes you think that maybe it was on his mind. And I hate to say it like that, but I think it's true. Also, I will go through these just because he used to use Gabby as his model. She would model his mask for him. Look at her. Just the best girlfriend, best fiance, and he just threw it all away because he's a brat. That's what I think. I think Brian is a brat, a 23-year-old brat. He's the youngest, right, guys? So far, like, that we've been following lately. He just couldn't handle it. Oh, well, here's I think this is the one with their finger tattoo, the things to burn off. Yeah, see. And have you guys noticed that in her last post, the Happy Halloween one, she has a little pumpkin. Has anybody noticed that there's a troll on this case that is a little pumpkin? It's a freaking pumpkin, and somebody keeps trolling all the chats, and they just drop pumpkins until they get blocked. I thought that was weird. And I've had people call her, like, Gabby Potato in my comments. Like, I don't know. I feel like these are all weird blows coming from people that may know him. I also get a lot of Justice for Brian ones. But they had these tattoos on their hands. They each had one. Like, kind of like this, and they have pictures like that. So it lets me know that they followed through with a lot of the stuff, or he followed through with a lot of the stuff that he had on his Pinterest. It wasn't just Gabby. She had a tattoo similar to this one. It was on her shoulder right here, but it was a triangle with a little flower on the inside. Hopefully he can stick and poke himself in jail. See, and like the Simpsons stuff just brings you back into, okay, this was him. Like, it wasn't just Gabby doing stick and poke art. Oh, it was 23. Brian was 23. Stick and poke art on his Pinterest. I do like stick and poke, but I don't know this. I don't like him. And then he, if you guys went through his Instagram with me, he talks about like how he was inspired to paint Lucifer. Yeah, weirdo. I think this guy needed medication and never took it, in my opinion. I think we're all here right now because this guy didn't take his meds, or he didn't take his mental illness seriously enough to go get help. But I think that he did have one, and I think that's why we're all here. 100%. That's why I'm going through this guy's social media over and over and over again to try to figure things out. Like, no. So also, he has a lot of his own art. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he had in his art is pinned here. And then it looks like a lot of stuff that Gabby had is pinned here too. Like I feel like he pushed stuff off onto her too. Like he tried to make her his perfect girl for his trip and everything. Like if you go through Gabby's social media, she liked fashion. There's even one where she's like, "What's new?" And if you look really closely, she has a Louis Vuitton headband. I bet that stuff was not okay with him. I bet he made her get rid of like all that stuff or at least sell it or whatever. I like that's just a guess, but I'm guessing that he did do that. I'm guessing he controlled everything. And they were together for what, 2, 3 years on and off, a broken engagement and everything. I really think this guy held a lot more control over Gabby than we initially thought. I really think his dark little thoughts definitely ruled that relationship too. If he was hearing voices, he surely was sick. Absolutely, John Hopkins. Absolutely. Love My Littles says maybe he smoked something laced. We could only hope. I mean, we can only hope that it wasn't on his heart, but I don't think so. It's not easy to get laced stuff. People who do, I think they got lucky. Sorry. I just I don't think that Brian was a victim to anything except himself. I think like his own little brattiness. I think that's all it was. And I think Gabby was a victim of Brian's, and that's where the story ends. But I really wanted to just go through his Pinterest to let people see it. I know that it has been talked about a lot in the groups. A lot of people don't know how to get onto Pinterest, or didn't know what it was at all. Oops, I went through this one. Or didn't know what it was at all. And I thought I was going to do this video real quick and, sorry, and show you guys that, this guy did have future plans with Gabby. He was not just on this earth to end her life, but something happened. And just like all the other cases that we follow, I want to find out what it was. Where was his breaking point and why? Why I want to find this stuff out, I don't know. But I will tear Brian Laundrie's Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. I will find them all and I will tear them apart. I will. I want to see everything and I want to know why. But here is his Pinterest. I will actually be linking it in the description for anybody that wants to go look at it too. And if you guys want to go check out this bold brat and tell me anything you find, let me know, because I can't stand his ass and I can't stop researching him. Like I've even looked for stuff like I get this username right here, the Laundrie 1197, and I plug it in to old social medias because I just want to get all the weird stuff on him. I want him to be pinned to the wall. I don't want him to get away with this because I think the fact that he's gotten an attorney lets me know that he thinks he has a chance in hell at getting away with this. And I do not want him getting away with this. Eva Anna says, a control freak feeling like he was losing control might snap. I definitely think he was losing control. Now that I see that he had wedding pins, I'm going to safely say that those were his. Gabby breaking up the engagement was definitely something that could make him snap. And her mom was adamant. Love My Littles, it's cool. Her mom was adamant that they weren't engaged. And when they did the press conference after the body cameras released, they told her, hey, look, they said in their video that they were engaged. So we know that it was her fiance. The mom didn't really say anything, but I think it's because she knew. I think something happened, and I definitely think that something happened and that she knew. Go stroke that thumbs up for a girl. Thanks, Kimmykins. I will be back tomorrow. I had an idea of doing this one, and it's so much easier to just go through a live and not have to make a video for it. So that I thought was a little bit better than that. They were together on and off since high school. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a long time. 7 years? That's a long time. I'm so sad for her. And, if you haven't said a prayer for Gabby or her family, go ahead and say so. And then we will be following up with her services. I don't think I'll play her services, but if there's maybe like beautiful pictures of the candles and stuff, we will show them just to show her memorial. Everybody, go ahead and have a great day. Thank you so much for being here. And Oh, Amanda Locklear coming in with facts. I guess he left her at the engagement. Interesting. Maybe as a control tactic, like I'm gonna not. I don't know. I think everything he does is evil. So I'm like, maybe if he broke it off with her, it's because he wanted her to beg him back. You know, he wanted her to want him. I don't know. I just think everything he did was so evil. I don't like him at all. And he is definitely in my shit list. And kind of like Teresa said yesterday on that live with CDT, she's like, I'm not going to use an allegedly. Like, he killed her. We just know it. And with that being said, allegedly. Thank you guys all. Have a good day. Be good, be better, not bitter. And message me if you have any information, whether you think I already know it. Amanda's Vida at gmail.com or Amanda's last name Vida on Facebook. Bye, guys. I'll see you all later. Oh, don't forget Crazy Crime Trick has a live as well at 2, I believe. 2 p.m. Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time. Bye.